Hello everybody! Welcome to Control City Freak. This is the YouTube channel where we talk about interstate highways and the places that they are signed to go to. Today we are talking about Interstate 39, I-39, which means 40's next. That'll be quite an undertaking. I-39 goes from Bloomington, Normal, Illinois in central Illinois to Wausau, Wisconsin in central Wisconsin. It goes roughly due north and south its entire length. So we'll be going to a state we haven't been to yet in Wisconsin, and one we haven't really spent much time in Illinois. First we will talk about 39 northbound. I-39 northbound begins with a junction with I-55, and here is I-55 meeting with Peoria, and we see a sign for 39 Rockford 1 mile ahead. This is definitely a fitting mileage sign. Next exit, then LaSalle, Peru, the junction with I-80, then Rockford. Illinois has got to lead the league in most cities that are named after much more famous cities that are elsewhere. They got all kinds of them there. Here is the junction with I-80. So we see 80 West Des Moines, East Chicago, 39 North Rockford. Everything's making sense so far. Now we've got Rockford. 69, dude. Still 3951 North Rockford. We now have the 88 intersection, which is kind of weird because now we got 88 East Chicago and West Moline, Rock Island. So if 88 is West Moline, Rock Island, well, 80 goes there too. If you were going in that direction, you would have just gotten off at 80 and you wouldn't have to pay a toll. Here is where 39 meets US 20 on the southern outskirts of Rockford. So we're going with the Chicago style thing. We've got 39 North Wisconsin, Rockford, Belvedere. Actually, that's not Chicago style. Putting 3 control cities on a sign like that is kind of weird. We do see 2 Wisconsin, Chicago use 39 North. So that is helpful for getting to I-90. This isn't actually on I-39, but it's close enough. We're not going to pass by here again. On I-90, we'll be too busy with other stuff. I stayed at this hotel one time in Rockford. This is the single worst place I've ever stayed. I can't believe they're still in business. And I have stayed at $5 flop houses like in rural Thailand. This one is worse. I thought I was going to die. I'm pretty sure I stayed in this room right here. This is also not on I-39, but I'll let myself take the story here. Hey everybody, Todd here. So this part is actually important to me enough that I'm actually going to come on camera. I'm not just a disembodied voice. This sign is my very origin story in road nerdery. This is a sign that I saw when I was like 2 or 3 years old, and when I was that young, riding on the back of my dad's bicycle, I would be thinking, wow, look at that sign, that's awesome. So yeah, been a total nerd ever since. Back to I-39. We are now on 39 toll, 90 toll, Chicago, Wisconsin, or we're about to be, merging with 90. So again, we have this Wisconsin control city like they do in Chicago. We see it again here, Wisconsin. I understand why they do Wisconsin in the Chicago loop, because 90 and 94 are merged together, so north is Wisconsin, or on 294, it makes sense. But here, we're already in Rockford. Why not 90 west, 39 north, Madison? We do finally get a Madison overhead sign 1 mile before we get to the Wisconsin border. Finally, Illinois admits that Madison exists. But once we cross the border into Wisconsin, suddenly we are in North 39, West 90, Janesville. Not Madison, Janesville. Why? Janesville at this point is only 10 miles away. Madison is the state capital and an important city in Wisconsin. You'd think they'd want to sign their capital. In Janesville, we, not surprisingly, do get, finally, Madison ahead. And here we meet the belt line on the outskirts of Madison, and we are now signed for Wisconsin Dells, or, as it's always put in these signs, Wis Dells. That one's not great, but I do understand it because 90 and 94 are merged together for so long. Wisconsin Dells is a big tourist attraction in the summer for people in lower Wisconsin and Chicago, so that does make sense there. Here we get 94 added to the party, and we continue on Wis Dells ahead. This is kind of cool because this is one of the rare triplexes in the Interstate Highway system, and in fact this is the longest one at 27 miles. This is the first mileage sign that you see once all three interstates are merged together, and it's interesting because it's taking an I-39 slant, which is weird because of 90, 94, and 39, 39 is very much the junior partner, and for a long time its sign was actually even smaller than the other two. Here is our split for northbound 39 for Wausau and Merrimack. Although it turns out Merrimack is for 78, so we're just going north Wausau. This is the most sensible mileage sign you could have on 39 as it begins its solo journey, as these are the three most prominent cities along the route. However, before long we end up with Minocqua, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And that's not on I-39, that is beyond I-39. And here we see the end of I-39 in Wausau. Or Wausau. Yeah, I should have looked up how to say that. Too late now, we're in it. 51 continues north to Chippewa Falls. I don't know why I-39 does not, at least as far as north as US 8. Let's look at southbound I-39. Southbound 39 begins here with that intersection with Wisconsin Highway 29. It is signed for South Stevens Point and Madison. Not sure why it's not just Madison, but okay. Here we see 39's first reassurance shield and Control Cities shortly behind it, with Madison as the primary. However, at a lot of rural junctions on this road, we don't get the same Control Cities here. It's Mossany, I'm not sure how to say that, and Stevens Point instead of Wausau and Madison. And we see the same thing here. In Stevens Point, it is signed for Portage instead of for Madison. Beyond Stevens Point, now we get Westfield, Portage, Madison. At the exit to Portage, 290 to 94, Madison ahead. And here is our junction with 9094. One direction for Madison, the other for Wisconsin Dells. I like this sign, Madison 33, but then we have two cities that are beyond the control of Madison, Milwaukee for I-94, and Chicago, I'm presuming via 90. And in fact, we now do get 3990 Chicago, even though 39 does not go to Chicago. Chicago is such a huge, important place. I am 100% fine with Chicago being on this sign. 39, like I say, it's the junior partner here. Interesting that we don't get Rockford on the mileage signs. We get Highway N, Beloit, Chicago. I suppose Beloit is reasonably big and it's right on the border and it's on the Wisconsin side, so Wisconsin wants to sign their own city instead of signing Rockford. However, here on County Road N, you don't get anything related to Chicago or even Beloit. It's signed for Janesville, and this is true at other rural junctions. Shortly before the state line, we meet I-43, and it is now South 39 and East 90, Rockford, Chicago, which does make sense. Welcome to the Illinois Tollway. This sign's interesting. 3951 south to 20, Rockford, 2 miles. And 20 Business State Street, which is actually the fastest way to downtown Rockford from this point. However, the next sign for 39 no longer mentions Rockford. Now it says 39 South Bloomington, which again is fine. It's just weirdly inconsistent. Both Wisconsin and Illinois are weirdly inconsistent on this road. So now we get 39 South Bloomington Normal, so Bloomington Normal instead of Bloomington, which is what we will see for the rest of the way. However, at rural junctions, again, we get 3951 South LaSalle, Peru, instead of Bloomington Normal. That's where it meets I-80, but it's weird that LaSalle, Peru is only signed at these rural junctions north of it, but south of it, it's always Rockford, and LaSalle, Peru is always skipped. So, weird. Should note also, this junction is at US 34, which I just learned today is the Walter Payton Memorial Highway. That's awesome. That is 100% awesome. Love Walter Payton, my favorite player of all time. Here at the intersection with 80, we have 80 West, LaSalle, Peru, and Des Moines. Remember on the northbound route, it was just 80 West Des Moines. And now we got 80 West LaSalle, Peru, Des Moines, which is very weird. I don't understand. Here's the end of I-39 at I-55 with 74 very nearby. And the strange thing here, we get Decatur signed for 51 South going to Decatur, but we don't get Bloomington signed. We've had Bloomington signed all this way since Rockford. Anyway, time for Todd's The Way It Should Be for I-39. I-39, it's hard to have a lot of opinions for. It's not a great road. It's kind of pieced together. It should be US 51. It has the weird multiplex. North I-39, I went with Rockford, Madison, Wisconsin Dells, I guess makes sense for 9094, and then Wasso. And south, Madison, Chicago, I'm fine with that. Chicago or Chicago Rockford could work. Then Bloomington Normal, although this is a rare case if I don't really care that much. There's plenty of other options that would be here that would be fine. Thank you for watching Control City Freak. I really appreciate it. Please like, please subscribe. I appreciate it so much. Your support means everything to me. Hopefully next week we will start on I-40, but it is a major undertaking to make this video. So I'm hoping to get that up next week. My name is Todd. Thanks for watching and keep on trucking.